Before we can take any road trips of discovery as Muslims, we have to begin at the very beginning. We are seeking an answer to why most historians leave out 30,000 years of world history. World history began with the Big Bang, fusion, explosions, smoke, expansion, galaxies, and primordial life. Then, after the fog cleared, we had the creation of the warring bin, the corrupt jinn, and our father Adam, made from the many hues of the soil of the earth, his test and expulsion. Amina brushed the dust from yet another pillar of carved stone from the oldest known human habitation of Turkey, discovered thus far, 15,000 BCE, and wondered about something she had read recently. As an archaeologist of some repute, she had been on many digs, so when she saw a prominent history book begin with the Neanderthals, 30,000 BCE, and then jump straight to the Sumerians, 3,300 BCE, she was astonished. In her many digs, she knew that Peru and Chile had digs of 13,000 BCE, and in America alone there were 10 digs from 12,000 BCE to 8,000 BCE, all human habitations. Why were these not taken into account? Where was the line of prophets from Adam to the Sumerians? No, she needed to dig deeper. She put together her findings, and to her amazement, the 30,000 missing years were filled with her beloved father, Prophet Adam, and his descendants, who had spread throughout the earth. Now the Sumerian culture made much more sense. The Sumerians had been after the Great Flood, 6,000 to 4,000 BCE, and were part of the repeopling of the earth by Noah and his sons. Sam, Ham, and Japheth migrated to the north, south, east, and west, bringing life back to a deluged land. An interesting find for her was 2 pre-flood pyramid structures dated 8,000 BCE in the Midwest that were underwater, which made sense. And post-flood, there were mounds built in Louisiana dated 4,000 BCE, again, possibly Noah's descendants. Poverty Point, Louisiana, a mounded city dated 3,000 BCE, around the same time as the Sumerians, had over 50,000 inhabitants, a teeming city for its time. This city was influenced by the Olmecs, a mix of African and Chinese from Central America. So, Amina thought, if mounds were built around this time in America, the same time as the giant people of Ad and Thamud were destroyed on the Arabian Peninsula, then how far did Noah's sons spread? What really amazed her was the amount of giant skeletons found in these burial mounds of the Midwest. Were they connected somehow? The trail of man in the Americas was lighting up for her. If during the time of Ibrahim, 2000 BCE, father to the 3 major faiths, there were thriving civilizations in the Americas, and 124,000 prophets were sent, 1 to every nation, then were there Muslims on this soil from the very beginning of man? So, Stonehenge, begun at the time of Ad and Thamud and finished around the time of Ibrahim, also had a resemblance to the massive stone pillars of the city of Sodom. She remembered the Stonehenge-like structure dated 8000 BCE found under Lake Michigan. How did these prophets fit into history? Amina could now follow the flow of Noah's descendants from Ur in Iraq, to Turkey, to Crete, to the Alps, to Great Britain, to Peru, yes, Peru on the American continent. Many South Americans had Asian DNA, and their pyramids resembled the ziggurats of Ur. One of the most startling discoveries she found was that the Olmec heads in Mexico were carved at the same time as Musa was confronting the pharaoh, around 1500 BCE. The heads themselves were an obvious mix of African and Chinese, so she turned to the task of finding out why. She found a flowchart of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The current of the Atlantic from West Africa took itself directly to Central America, and the current of the Pacific from China and Japan also ended at Central America. She had read that some researchers found a seafaring tribe in Africa called the Dogons, around 5000 BCE, who had reached Mesoamerica. She was amazed to find out that when their rituals and the later Hopi Indians of the American Southwest were compared, there was very little difference. The theory went that the Africans and Chinese mixed to make the Mexicans, and they migrated north to what was to become America. This information had been covered up for millennia, and she quickly changed her opinion of the Bering Straits theory and the peopling of America held so tightly for years. She also stumbled onto a book tying in the Bronze Age and before to Isle Royal, Michigan, an island in the middle of Lake Superior. The book said that this area had the purest copper on Earth, and digs were found going back to 10,000 BCE. She felt like she had only begun to uncover the secrets of the ancient Americas. She ended this part of her journey of the past by a look at the Adena and Hopewell cultures of the Midwest around the same time as prophets Dawood and Suleiman, 1000 BCE. These were the last in a long line of the mound builders of America, whose mounds resembled the great mounds of Çatalhöyük in Turkey, 8000 BCE. The art of the Adena culture was distinctly Mayan, and the Native American spoken was a derivative of ancient Turkish. Again, how did the flow of Adam's and then Noah's descendants affect this part of the world? What a great movie this would make, Amina mused. I would call it Unearthing the Ancestral Americas.